Hello and welcome to my tarot corner. So at first I thought I would use another animal deck for this reading, but then I decided to use the African tarot. It is a mini deck and it is good for this reading because it's a 12 card reading. And this reading is something that I devised myself from a Dungeons and Dragons sort of, let's say, character. I'm sorry. When you're trying to create your character in Dungeons and Dragons, you give them all sorts of characteristics, and I decided to try this method in order to try and create the characteristic or to find out what is Dr. Shola's characteristics. Now, I'm not going to say her full name. Dr. Shola is well known in Britain. She is an African princess who's actually a daughter of one of the ruthless rulers in Africa who sold his own people to slavery, but she allows herself to call the British, let's say, government and the British way of life racist. And she's very, very vocal about that. And her last way of talking was even worse than everything. She's a very, very big supporter for Meghan Markle. And what I decided to do is to try and to look at all of her characteristics through this reading. So first of all, please take a few moments to read my full disclaimer. It's in the description box. This is a tarot reading. It is vibrational. It is open to interpretation. It exists as assumptions and speculation, and as such may or may not be true. So please do your own research and decide for yourself. So let's try and clear this deck. Okay, Dr. Shola and her character, Dr. Shola and her motives, her history, her family, the things that she wants to achieve. What can we find around Dr. Shola's personality? So the first card is the card of the central concept. What is the central concept that is ticking Dr. Shola, that is motivating her? What is the central thing that she's involved with? And what I'm getting here is the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles, that is a card of cooperation and recognition and reward. So this is a card of people working together and getting some kind of recognition for their work. So she really wants to get recognition for the things that she's been doing. She really wants despite the fact that she's really very, very vocal. She wants people to listen to her. She wants people to understand the things that she's trying to say. And this card is showing that this is the main thing that is driving her, the attempt to make people believe what she's saying and the attempt to make them understand what she's saying and to cooperate with her. So let me look at the affinity of this card. And the affinity of this card is the need for recognition. A person who constantly needs to prove to himself that he's worth something. And I think that this is the central thing that is making Dr. Shola be the way she is. She really needs to prove to herself that she is correct, that she is right. And because of that, she wants to get the recognition of everyone else. But the main thing here is her need to feel that she is right, and her need to feel that people are let's say, accepting what she's saying, know who she is, know her worth, and she wants to be in a place where she can put a stamp and said, I was there and I did something meaningful. It's like a person that is saying what will stay behind after I'm dead. So she wants to make this stamp and to be known as someone who made a difference. So this is the main thing that is her in her core of personality. Now, the next card is her appearance. And what we're getting here is the King of Wands. Okay, so first of all, as you can see, it's an African tarot, so all of the people here will be dark-skinned, but the Wands suit is a suit of people that are coming from places around Persia, around let's say Middle East. This is all around the mythological story of Yason and his golden geese, and that is why the wand suit is a suit of dark-skinned people. Now, it doesn't have to be African people, but it is people that are dark-skinned. This is where this whole mythological story began. Now, the King of Wands is an initiator, someone who starts things, but he doesn't even know how to take them all the way through. He doesn't know how to finish things that he started. So he's a person who is very easily irritated, a person who is very angry, and we can see that around Shola. So it's not only her appearance that she looks like a man in a way, and that she is very aggressive, like the King of Wands is, but she's also someone who gets very, very agitated, very angry easily, and she never actually achieves what she's trying to achieve because she's the King of Wands, because she is only starting things, but she cannot take them all the way through. So this is about her appearance. The next card is what are her emotions, or what is her mood. And what I'm getting here is the Ace of Wands. So her mood is she wants to achieve the things that her wishes. This is what she wants. This is what she thinks about. Everything around this reading up until now is about getting what she wants. She will not give up. She will never stay silent. She will always drive towards being able to achieve her wishes. This is what the Ace of Wands is. This is what she wants. This is what she strives for. Now, if we're looking at the affinity of this card, there's a lot of anger here. and there's a lot of ego here and a lot of passion. And we see with every time she opens her mouth, she's an angry. It's not a coincidence that everyone calls her Angry Shola. She's an angry person. She only thinks about the things that she wants to achieve, and she is very much a person that is egocentric and is very angry, as I was saying. But this card also says that she has a problem in her sexuality. Now, I don't know what is her sexuality. I don't know if she's an LGBTQ or not. I don't know. But she has a problem with her sexuality. And this is something that doesn't come out, but it is one of the affinities of this card. And I think it fits in this meaning, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, next. The fourth card is about her family. So what can we find about her family? And we see the Hanged Man. So she wants to change her family history. She doesn't want to look at what her family used to do. The Hanged Man is a person that is actually looking at things from a different perspective. She's trying to look at what her family did in the past in a different perspective. She's trying to give her family and what they did some kind of lenience for what they did. She is trying to change the way that other people think about her family. The Hanged Man is a person that needs to change his point of view, but also wants to change the point of view of others. So regarding her family, she doesn't like what she knows about her family, but she's trying to justify it by changing the way that other people see it and trying to change the way that she herself sees that. So this is how she sees her family. And the next card is her enemies. So who are Shola's enemies? And what I'm getting here is the Magician. So the Magician is a person that is a creative person. This is a person that can create. This is a person that is maybe sometimes even eccentric, but this is a person that is not repeating what other people say. This is a person that has the ability to create. And this is a person that can create, can get his wishes come true. And this is her worst enemy. So for a woman that wants to achieve her wishes, to have the Magician as an enemy, it's not a very good thing. Now, the affinity of this card is manipulation and being able to break conventions. Now, she wants to become that magician. She wants to be able to break those conventions. This is a person who can communicate very well. He is very much like the Page of Wands, of Swords in that way. He's very slick-tongued. He's very good in sales, but he's also someone who knows how to talk and to express what he feels, to express what he wants people to know, and to be able to convince people that he is correct. All of the things that Shola is unable to do. So this is her biggest enemy. And that is not one person, that is all of the other people that are able to create, are able to communicate and to get people to believe them and to get to convince people that they are correct. All of the things that she wants for herself, and she doesn't get that. And this is her biggest enemy. And I can say that in this instance, her biggest enemy is herself, because she is not acting in the right way to achieve those things. And if she was smarter, then she could have become the magician. Okay, so that's the fifth card. The sixth card is the, wait a minute, the formative experience. What was that experience that created Shola in the way that she is today? What is that? Because she arrived to the UK as, I don't know, as a guest or maybe as a refugee. I don't know how exactly she arrived to the UK. And instead of becoming very grateful to the UK, she became very angry. So what is that formating experience that created Shola that we know today? And what I'm getting here is the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands is a great card because it is a card of going out on this potential journey, on this journey to get your potential realized, but enjoying the road. And when it is negatively aspected, and here it is negatively aspected because we're looking at the things that created Shola as she is today, and she's not a very good person today. So we need to look at what are those experiences that made her the person that she is today. So I don't know if she's married. I don't know if she has children, but somewhere in the way she had a problem with a lover, and this goes very well with the difficulty with her sexuality. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is how it feels in this card. Now, other negative aspects of this card are a person that is never satisfied with what he's getting, a person that is over self-confident, and because of that, he has difficulty in dealing with new beginnings. Now, when she moved to the UK, it was a new beginning for her. It was hard. It wasn't easy. So she hasn't forgotten that. This is something that is still there, still very much influencing everything that she thinks of, everything that she's feeling, everything that she's doing. She is still holding the grudge for not being let's say, able to get into the British society the minute that she arrived. Now, if we're looking at the affinity of this card. So this affinity card is about an ego. So she's very, very egotistical. It is also about getting promises that were not kept. And I think that this is the most important thing here, because she was probably promised things, maybe around a lover, maybe around someone who promised to marry her. I don't know exactly, but she was promised something and she never got that. And this is the main reason why she's so angry. Okay, so that is number 6. Now I have to go to number 7. So that's the next page. And what are her contacts? Who are her friends? And what I'm getting here is the 8 of Wands. So the 8 of Wands is the communication. It's about being in the right place at the right time. It's about swift and velocity, but it is mainly about electronic communication. So her friends or the people that she's in contact with are those people that are in the communication world that are giving her stage. I've been asking myself all the time, why are people inviting her to all of those talk shows? Why are people asking her to say her views? Why? And this is the answer, because she has friends there. She has friends that are keeping her in the line of people that are asked to say their views. Now, of course, when she's angry and she's shouting, it is getting more, maybe more people to watch it. Maybe it is elevating the ratings, all of those things, but it's all around communication, electronic communication, which is television, which is internet, all of those things. So these are the people that are helping her. These are her contacts. It doesn't even have to be friends. It's people that she's contacting or contacting her in order to allow her to have that stage to speak and to say what she thinks. Okay, so let's put these cards up here, and let's put this card here. And the next card is her fears. What is she afraid of? And we get the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is a card that speaks about change, and she's afraid of change. This is a very major change. This is a change that starts from within and goes all the way out. And I feel like a broken record because I keep saying the same thing. But she's afraid of change. She is afraid that things might change in a way that what she says will be completely irrelevant. Now, it is still irrelevant today because Britain is not racist. Most of the British are not feeling that Britain is racist. So she's crying racist for reasons that are not true, but she still has a stage. She's really afraid that things will change in a way that everything that she says will be redundant, that nobody will want to listen to her anymore. Now, this card is also telling us that she's afraid that she will have to take destiny in her own hands. So she will have to change. She will have to change the way that she talks, the way that she is doing things, the way that she feels about things. This is the most frightening thing here. And what is even worse is that because it's her fears, it shows us that those changes are not going to be good changes. Those are bad changes. Those are upheaval of faith. So she's afraid of that. This is the most frightening thing for her. Okay, and I'm not looking at the affinity of this card because I think that the psychological interpretation is enough. Okay, so what are her blind spots? What doesn't she see? And what I'm getting here is the Two of Wands. Okay, so I'm just going to spread all of the cards here so that you can see how many wands we have here. So first of all, I told you that wands are people with dark skins. And that is one of the reasons that we have a lot of wands here. But also, wands is the creative suit. This is a suit that speaks about being able to create, to get your wishes, to make your wishes a reality. And the Two of Wands is only the beginning of the way. So if we're looking at her blind spots and the things that she doesn't see that England is changing. She doesn't see that there is a big change here, that the way that she is going is not the right way, that things are going on another way, and she cannot see that. This is why it's in her blind spot. And the Two of Wands speaks about going out on this voyage to realize your potential. But when it's badly aspected, it shows impatience. And she's an impatient woman. And she says that she wants things to change, but she's actually afraid of that. She says that she wants Britain not to be racist, but she knows that the minute that Britain won't be at all racist, then she will have no place. So this is one of the things that she's afraid of, because Britain is changing. and Britain has changed. And she's in the beginning of a different way, and she doesn't see that. She needs to reinvent herself, and she doesn't see that. This is her blind spot. She still goes on with the same puff pieces, with the same word salad, with the same accusations, and she cannot see that she's actually in the beginning of a road that will lead her to a completely different place where she is now. And this is something that she's unable to see. Okay, next card, her history. So what can we see about the history of Shola and the history of her family? And what I'm getting here is the Five of Pentacles. So she comes from a family that lost a lot of money. This is a card of self-destruction. This is a card of being in a very bad place. So this is her history. She comes from a place where, first of all, Africa is not a very advanced place, but she came from a very wealthy family. But her family was probably in need of money if they had to sell people as slaves. So she comes from a place of slavery, of a place of a lot of problems, of self-destruction, and this came because of the way that they acted. Her family, her father, her grandfather, they were dictators, and because of that, they ended up in the Five of Pentacles. So this is her history, and this is something that she's trying not to see. Okay, so what is her agenda? And her agenda is the Ten of Wands, another Wands. So she wants to be able to tackle all of those obstacles that are standing in her way and to convince the world that she's right. This is what this card is telling us. The Ten of Wands is a card of overload, taking too much upon yourself. But these are imaginary obstacles because those obstacles don't really exist. So in this card, we need to look at the affinities. So let's look at the affinities. And the affinities of this card is a person that is self-destructive, but also a person that feels that he is in a survival mode and that he wants to conquer. And this is, I think, the most important thing here when we're looking at the question, because the question is, what is her agenda? And she wants to conquer. She wants, as I said before, to convince everyone that she's correct, that she knows what she's talking about. She wants to conquer. So the affinity of this card is more powerful than the psychological interpretation, and this is what is most important in this card. Now, the next card is her motives. What are her motives? And what I'm getting here is the Queen of Wands. I was waiting for the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands, as you know, that is Meghan, but that is also Queen Shouty Shola herself. She is a woman who is egocentric. She's thinking about herself. She wants to perform in front of an audience, and she is very much a supporter of the real Queen of Wands, which is Meghan. So her motives is to try and make Meghan great again, to try and to convince the world that they are wrong about Meghan, that Meghan is this amazing person. And this is her main motive. I was expecting this card and it did come. Okay, so this is it for the tarot. Now I'm going to use a very cute deck that is called practical magic. It's very easy to use. It comes with special cards that actually give you spreads that can help you, go forward with your life. So it's more of a deck that is meaning to support and to allow people to go forward. So if you just want to see part of those spreads, so what we have here is witch's self-care, inner witch check-in, elements of earth, elements of air, elements of fire. But all of these spreads are spreads that are meant to help a person get over things, go forward. And this is, in my opinion, is the main reason why we should use tarot. Okay, so let's clear the deck. And see what message we can give Shola. So a message to Shola, Dr. Shola, a message to Dr. Shola. So it's a really clear-cut message. It's usually some kind of plant and an explanation, but what we get here is full moon, and full moon means control. So Shouty Shola needs to control herself. If she wants to achieve her goals, she needs to find control. And it goes very well with the card of the Wheel of Fortune, because the Wheel of Fortune speaks about being able to control your own destiny. And if she wants to control her own destiny, if she doesn't want changes to come out in the wrong way, then she has to exercise control. Okay, so this is it for this reading. I hope you liked it. And if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.